I'm gonna be rich from day trading. I'm 17 years old and I haven't earned a single dime from it yet. But I've been documenting my whole journey online. And this is week number 21 of trying to get my first payout from day trading. If you just tuning in, make sure you check out my other videos right here. I post every single week on my YouTube, so make sure you check those out. And make sure you check out my socials down in the description below because I post daily on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. So if you want to be early access, because I post weekly on YouTube, make sure you check out those in the description below. Here's a recap of my journey so far, and here's a recap of last week. Last week we did ended up with only taking one trade, but that one trade was a dub. So now we only need two little small trades or one little big trade to win and pass his eval account, and then finally get on to the steps of payout. So I'm very excited to take on this week. So make sure y'all stay tuned in to the end because this is gonna be a good week for sure. We took no trades today. Price really didn't present any clean setups, bullish or bearish, so we ended up not trading. But coming in the market open, I was low key bullish, but I was bearish at the same time, and I just wanted a little more confirmation on what the trade and what the trend was gonna be. So just coming in the market open, just looking at this, it was just terrible. It wasn't clean to the upside or downside. It was just bad. And we had this big 15-minute imbalance right here marked out in red. So it was just bad. And we had high impact news at 10 o'clock. So then that was just impacted even worse. So just no trades today. All we need is like one more good big win to pass his eval account, and then we'll be set. And then we'll be on a sim funded account chasing this first payout. So hopefully we can find a banging trade tomorrow because today it was nothing. We ended up taking no trades today. Coming in the market open, we was definitely bullish. We definitely was looking for longs, and previous high day was a big draw on liquidity for me. So I was definitely looking for that to get hit. But we just had no entry to the upside, so we just didn't end up trading. And once price reached it, it just didn't give me an opportunity to long even more to reach these highs. So we just didn't end up trading. And it was a big 15-minute imbalance right here that I definitely want to price to reach into and then continue up, but it just never gave me that. So we just didn't end up trading today. Here's how we ended up losing $375 today day trading. Although it wasn't a big loss, we ended up taking a loss today. But coming in the market open, I was definitely bullish. I definitely wanted price to go up. Price was looking so bullish on the high time frame and lower time frame. So that was my bias coming in. I wanted highs to get hit, and they did get hit, right? So boom, market open over here. Wasn't really nothing going on here. We had high impact news at 10 a.m. So I was waiting for that. Catching the trade early market to see what I can do before, but we didn't get none. So we waited till after. And then after, price came down into a 15-minute fair value gap. And then it inversed this 1 minute gap right here, right around, right around over here. It inversed the gap. And I entered off this candle closer, targeting this high right here. Just a quick one-on-one. Put my stop below this inverse and below this candle. And we did end up getting stopped out by a little wick. We did end up getting stopped out. And then once price retraced back up, once I had strong momentum to the upside, I re-entered up my contract. I went one contract on the first trade, two on the second. Boom. And then as you can see, this would have played out. But I ended up putting my stop at break even, and it stopped me out by the tick. It stopped me out by the tick. I put my stop at break even, but I stopped right here, and it stopped me out, and then went to my take profit. But I guess that's just a game. That's just a game of trading, man. You just win some, you lose some, you go break even some. Either way, you still gotta live, man. You still gotta do what you do, and we'll be back tomorrow, man. Just hopefully we catch it win. Here's how we ended up going break even day trade today. So coming in the market open, price came down and swept three lows, right? So I was definitely looking bullish, definitely looking to an upside. And we did have a big bearish imbalance, like around here, around this area right here. We had a big bearish imbalance. And then we had a 5 minute, and then we had a 5 minute imbalance, which I marked out in red. And that was my real target, right? So price came up into the 15-minute, and it came back down into a 5 minute fair value gap. and then it inversed this 1 minute fair value gap, and then I entered right here. That was more than enough confirmation for me. I entered the trade just targeting to this 5 minute fair value gap because I truly thought this was gonna be a liquidity sweep, and then we were just gonna continue up, take out these highs. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't do that. We ended up going break even. Price ended up just consolidating after that. So not a bad trade. Actually a good trade, not a bad trade. But we still break even. We still didn't pass his eval account. Here's why we ended up taking no trades today. So market open and price swept London lows or Asia lows, session lows, one of these session lows down here, right? And then it retraced higher into a 15 minute and a 5 minute for value gap to the upside. So then I just wanted to see what price will play out, if it's gonna continue lower and take these lows or just disrespect this for value gap and go higher. So I was just waiting to see. And then we had a strong bearish candle to the downside. And then not really anything, not just consolidation for real. And then price went down, took out the other session low, and then I was definitely looking for longs because previous high day was a big draw for me. So then all I wanted was a good entry model right here. Boom, we inverse this gap. If we would have retraced into this gap, I would have probably entered right there, but we just didn't retrace into it. We just had a big inversion and I didn't want to put my stop all the way down here, so we just didn't end up trading, and it did end up playing out. Price did end up coming all the way up here to previous high day, but I guess that's just you gotta stay disciplined, I guess. But that wraps up week number 21 of trying to get my first payout from day trading at 17 years old. And we ended up taking two trades this week. One was a small loss and one was a break even. So I'm not really mad at this week because we didn't blow our account. We didn't go down much. We only took a small loss, and that's just a part of the process. And we did end up going break even. So I ain't mad at this week at all. But the lesson I learned from this week is that I should never go break even just because I'm scared of losing. And if I don't have a plan or a reason to go and break even, don't do it. Because I lost too many trades just going break even to the fear of just losing the money. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all stay tuned for next week. Hopefully next week we pass this eval account and then we get started getting to this payout soon enough, because this been a grind, man. I'm ready for it to end. I can't lie. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Check out my video right here. And peace out, man.